Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Oh my goodness, sister. All right, so straight off of Christmas, there's been a lot of, a lot of holiday stuff for a lot of us, right? Holidays can be lovely. They can also be tricky and family stuff. And here's the message I just feel compelled to speak to you today. And for some reason, because I literally just recorded this podcast episode from my desktop, which I don't normally do. I normally do it from my phone, which I'm actually doing right now with you. And it was a great episode. And there's all this echo and feedback. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So apparently that was not supposed to be the episode. And it's the one that I'm speaking into you right now. So let's talk about staying in the game. There is something that you're trying to create in your life right now. And you're being tested. You are being tested. There's an obstacle that's coming up. There's a big challenge. You are asking yourself, should I stay in this? Like, this isn't working. Whatever, this must be a sign, right? And the easy thing to do is to tap out, right? The easy thing to do is to say, well, I'm not going to really do this because, see, look at the signs I'm getting from the universe. And I hear you, and I get it. And yes, that could be absolutely the case, but let's talk about life, which is full of paradoxes, right? Yes, and that could also very well just be a test. That can also very well be time that you need to do to strengthen something or something within yourself or to prepare for what is coming. And if you decide, I'm out, this is too hard, I'm giving up, I'm out of here, you will never see what is coming to you and for you, sister. Stay in the game. Like all these little things that come up, it's so funny, right? We often think that on the way to hitting goals in our life and the way to creating the things that we want in any area of your life, that somehow it's this linear thing, right? We just go, put in the work, take action. Maybe I learn some things, I take more action. It's just like, it's like the XY graph, and it's just from 0 on up. It's the straight line. No, it's not. Here's what it looks like. You do some things, a little bit of a result, you get kicked down. And you go, okay, let me get back up again. Let me learn from that. Okay, let me keep moving forward. And you get kicked in the ass again. Like, without sounding kind of doom and gloom, like, this is the way that it works. It's so funny. It's like we have amnesia. It's like we forget. We can take a look back on things that we've created in our life and we kind of forget, right? It's almost like we just paint this little rosy thing over it and we go, that was, parenting's a great example. And if you've got kids that, regardless of what age, unless they're like newborn, but even with a newborn, you know how fast your kids are changing, right? But I look back, Facebook memories, right? Their Instagram memories pops up kind of old images. And I'll be like, oh man, look at Tyson was just 2. Kai wasn't around yet, right? My oldest son Tyson is 9 and my youngest Kai is 6, almost 6.5. And I'll look at that and I'll go, oh man, it was so awesome back then, right? That longing feeling you often have as a mother or as a father of like, I kind of miss that, right? The pictures that remind you, okay? What we forget sometimes is how hard that experience was, right? Especially with the first kid. And my God, Tyson didn't sleep through the night, consistently until it was like 4.5. I don't even know how old Kai was at I didn't sleep well for probably 6 years. We forget those things, right? They kind of get washed over. I forget the tantrums that Tyson was beginning around that age and how intense they were and how I felt so frustrated and I don't know what I'm doing. And, we forget those things. We forget that the way to get through something is to get through it, not to just skate on over from A to B or up that graph. Like, it doesn't work that way. And there will be challenges, there will be obstacles. And we have a choice. When we come to that fork in the road, we go, oh crap, there's something that's in my way right now. Okay? I can either find a way around it or through it, or I'm going to allow it to stop me. And just, there's no judgment. If you right now have kind of just thrown the towel and said, like, I'm out kind of thing, right? Like, that's okay. If that's what you truly wanted, right? If that's what served you, if you've been trying and just not. But so there's a couple pieces with this. Again, coming back to the paradox, right? Colonel Sanders, the stories I've heard about him, who didn't become, Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken guy, until he was in his 60s, knocked on something like 1,000 doors, right? People saying, no, no, no. Well, this is a Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe, right? Sylvester Stallone took his script to a lot of different people before anyone knew the heck who Sylvester Stallone was when he wrote the screenplay for Rocky. When he wrote it, and I actually heard him talk about this a little bit because I've always heard the story of saying he wrote it, Sylvester Stallone, in like about, 2 or 3 days. And I heard him talk about it a little bit more. He's like, I wrote like the majority of it and then was kind of like cleaning up and refining it for a little while after that, right? But in a short period of time, and so what was it that kept those people going? I don't really know Colonel Sanders, right? But I knew that when I've heard Sylvester Stallone speak about this, and the reason he was getting so many no's in his face is one of the biggest reasons why is he said, well, I'm Rocky. I'm like, you're who? No, we got to get somebody else. Who's this weird looking guy with a speech impediment? Like, he knew inside, like he had a knowing of like, it needs to be, not from an ego thing, but it needs to be me. So he just kept going every single no. He just kept going. It's worked out pretty well for him. Would you not agree? I think Rocky won Best Picture that year. I don't know if he won Best Actor. I can't remember, but I'm pretty certain it won Best Picture that year when Rocky came out. There may be simply more for you to learn. These obstacles coming up, there's a reason this is happening. And I want you, instead of saying, I'm out, see, this isn't working, to trust it. So I had something that happened this morning, and kind of a message, if you will, that I saw, which was like, oh man, I'm getting these messages. And so here's the thing, right? Again, back to the paradox. Can sometimes these messages be messages from the universe, from your angels and guides, from your subconscious kind of leading you to where you need to be in your intuition? Sure. But the paradox is this. If you were in the frequency of doubt, if you were vibrating in a place where you're like, I don't know anymore about this, right? Don't be surprised when what is happening internally inside of you is showing up externally outside of you. Okay, so let me give you an example. When we were trying to conceive for 7.5 years, okay, so we were never able to get pregnant. We ended up actually adopting our 2 sons. Again, trust that now that I'm on the other side of that, right? But I remember at that time and just like so desperately wanting to get pregnant. And pregnant women were everywhere. And we were attracting, so we had our chiropractic office at the time in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. And we had a lot of families that we saw. So it was like, seemed like every other woman coming in saying, oh, guess what, I'm pregnant. And I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. And I was happy. And then it would just be like this punch in the gut at the same time of, and I'm not. I would see tons of families all around, with young children, like just so desperately wanting to be a mom and for us to start our family. So because it was like I had, again, that baby brain, like it was just literally on my mind all the time, what's happening with ovulation? Let's do tests now. What's the next procedure we're going to try? What's the next? Like it was a constantly in the forefront of my mind. Of course I'm seeing pregnant women everywhere. Of course I'm seeing families with young children. It's what I'm wanting to see. It's what I'm trying to create. So on the other side of that, if doubt is in there, if hopelessness is taking up inside your heart, if like, I shouldn't be doing this is kind of there, and or you're allowing the voices inside of you and others outside of you to really get inside of you and your soul and your heart, don't be surprised when you start to see messages outside that kind of like state that case. They're not necessarily signs. Okay? So how do you know the difference? It's you knowing the difference. It's you deciding to stay in the game, and that you don't decide at the first sign or the fifth sign like Colonel Sanders. It wasn't until the thousandth many doors that he finally somebody said yes. And only you know what that is for you. But I'm going to have you consider and just invite you to understand that a lot of times ego, the fear inside of you, that piece that's a part of you that's okay, but is trying to keep you quote unquote safe, is often the one that is shouting the loudest when challenges come up. See, I told you, it's not happening. It's not working. They're not playing along. They're doing this. They're not doing this. This result is not happening. You can't do this. And it's just, around and around we go, locked into that program that's just on repeat. Stay in the game. It's not time to give up yet. It may be time at one point. I just don't think it's right now. This is not the time for you to give up. So what keeps me going 4.5 years delivering this message to you? It is a knowing and it's not even a feeling, it's a knowing. And I say this with absolute sincerity, that I feel like what I'm supposed to be, I know that what I'm supposed to be doing is delivering snippets of my life to you, seeing what I'm seeing, sharing the growth and the lessons inside of that, and sharing that to you. And the way that I know that is how many of you reach out to me and tell me. Now, yes, that's an external thing outside of me that I'm kind of getting that feedback. And quite honestly, there'll be times where I don't hear from some of you, and I still keep going. Why? Because I feel this calling inside of me. I feel like, and without this being guru-ish or I'm a prophet, I'm chosen, like it's none of that shit. There's no ego in this. It's just, it is this burning desire, knowing that I'm here to be this channel, this messenger. So when so many of you will reach out and say to me like, oh my God, you said exactly what I needed to hear, or, it feels like you're inside of my head, or it's really resonated with you. Like, I don't like hit record on a podcast and go, how can I be palatable today? How can I, no, my message is about like, how can I connect women back to who they truly are? How do I help you remember who you are? That's a big ass why. Would you not agree? So let's say if we took a look at a goal let's just take something really simple like weight loss, right? If your goal in that is you want to look good naked or lose X amount of pounds, which nothing wrong with neither of those, by the way, don't be surprised when you give up along the way. And that's not because you need to be more disciplined or you need to find a new way to lose weight or you're not doing it right. It's because your why is not grounded in service. You can still look good naked. You can still want to create X amount of dollars in your business. That's awesome. Like you can still want to, lose that number of pounds it's fine. It's fine. But it cannot be the burning why. You know what is in weight loss? If you're doing this for the sake of, my health is just not good and I want to be there for my kids. I want to see them graduate. I want to meet my future grandchildren and I want to be around for them. Okay. In service, you're still in service to yourself, right? Because you're helping yourself in the process, but it's bigger. It's outside of you. Do you feel that? When you make your why, that grounding, that anchor, that foundation in service towards others, you will keep moving forward. And believe me, when the obstacles come up, when the tests come, when the challenges come, you will not throw in the towel. You'll be like, I'm going to get back up again. And you might get up a little bit slower. And you might still doubt yourself at times, but yet you still eventually dust yourself up and get back up again. That was a reminder for me this morning. Oh my God, this message means something. No, it doesn't. It's vibrating the doubt that I'm feeling inside of me, and I'm seeing it in signs externally. That's what that is. And you might be receiving messages outside of you that maybe it's not. They are actual signs. Only you really know the truth of that. But I think for so many of us, really, we tend to kind of It's almost like we skirt the responsibility and say, oh, see, universe is giving a message. It's time to go. No, maybe it's actually because you're just not ready to receive that thing yet. Maybe it's because there's more things that you need to learn along the way. Maybe you just need to let go of the control for us to let go of trying to steer the ship, take the action that you need to, and then detach from it. Because you're not ready to receive it yet and you're being prepared. Maybe it's that. And maybe you don't even have to know every single thing, but just trust and let go and stay in the game. Stay in the game. So here's your more tip for today. One of my favorite things to do. You're going to write stay in the game on Post-it note, and you're going to put it somewhere you're going to see it today, or put it as wallpaper on your phone. Words are powerful. Words can inspire and uplift. The words you see outside of you and the words you tell yourself inside of you, or words can sink you. They can be negative. I'm going to have you invite you to choose the former. So on Post-it note, stay in the game. Stay in the game, sister. Stay in the game. Okay, 2 very exciting things I want to share with you. Number 1, there are currently 3 spots that are left for the Women Wanting More retreat. You've been hearing me talk about this forever. Okay, it's coming up in about 4 weeks. So the Women Wanting More retreat experience, January 2020, here in beautiful Victoria, BC, Canada, to really take you from a place of feeling lost and stuck and I don't know who I am, to clarity from all the things you're trying to create within your life and you're trying to become and you're trying to heal through, but you've been trying and trying, but you are stuck. Okay, and you're just feeling just locked in that subconscious program and you're just like, I don't know how to get out of this, okay? If you're at this point where that is you and you're ready to raise your hand and say, please help, I've been trying and I don't want to do this alone and I want to be with other women who are like me, okay, then there's 3 seats that are left. The doors are going to close on this, by the way, very soon because then we'll be about 2 weeks out. So we've got about 10 days left or so that you'll be able to apply, and then that's it. So this is resonating with your sister. Here's what you need to do. Okay, very simple. Just send me a text and say, Karen, I would like to apply for the retreat. 250-589-4811. 250-589-4811. Sorry, so let me give that again. 250-589-4811. Okay, and simply say, Karen, I'd like to apply for the retreat, and I will text you back soon after that and give you that first step. Okay, and the last thing I want to share with you is the More Club. Woo, coming January 1st. I'm so pumped. Okay, so this is a solution for so many of you that said, Karen, you know what? I can't actually make it to a retreat. I can't get out. I got kids. I don't have the financial means possibly. I don't have someone to watch my children. For those of you that even said, like, I want to do an online course, but I just keep buying them. I'm not really using them, or I don't even have the funds for that. This is something that is open for every woman. And is for those of you too that listen to the podcast for a while, they're like, I feel like I want to show appreciation for the podcast because I know I get this for free. The More Club is a way for you to do it. And I'm going to give you a ton of cool things by being in the More Club. It's literally, I'm not even kidding you. It is literally pennies a day. I'm so pumped because I know this is a solution for so many of you that want to be more involved in this message, in this movement, and how can I grow more? How can I learn more? How can I become more that isn't necessarily the echelon of, flying out here to Victoria for a live event experience? Okay, this is the easiest thing in the world, and there'll be a special gift for the first 100 women in. Okay, so the More Club, I will have more information coming out on how you get in, but it is opening up on January the 1st, and I'd love for you to be one of the first inaugural women in, and for me to send you that special gift. Okay, so the More Club coming January 1st. And I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more really is one step away from you staying in the game every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.